and welcome to another DieCastRestos vs Nick's Toy Garage build-off. I'm Jason and this is Matchbox's 1982 Pontiac Firebird SE that I'm going to be customising. This scruffy example is going up against Nick's choice in a USA build-off. It makes a bit of a change personally speaking, as my customs are often very Eurocentric. This Firebird was produced circa 1988, but some rare USA releases were built in England prior to Leslie's June 1982 bankruptcy. It was produced until 1989 with a variety of colours and tempos, and is based on the new for 1982 third generation Firebird, as pictured here. I've decided on this car for this challenge because it is a relatively basic casting, and as such it will be a test bed for my first black paint job. Until now I've heard how difficult it is to pull off a black coated model, but I've not had an opportunity to put this theory to the test. As ever, I'll try to keep the casting in sync with the real world equivalent to keep it realistic. I've got a set of green light wheels to replace the badly worn MB originals, but I'll restore these and use them as storage wheels. The interior I will detail a little bit as well, those seats have plenty of potential. Unfortunately, the window unit has cracked across the rear screen. It is still solid, but I will try to polish it as much as possible to divert attention away from this blemish. Designed as a pony car to take on the Ford Mustang and Mercury Cougar, the Firebird was produced from 1967 to 2002. Spanning 4 generations. It shared its styling with the Chevy Camaro across all 4 generations. The first gen car had an optional handling package available named the Trans Am Performance and Appearance Package, an option that itself would become synonymous with the Firebird and Pontiac. Now on to paint stripping. I'm about to be startled with the unexpected. So it turns out this was one of Matchbox's 1988 Super Colour Changer series. I'd known Hot Wheels had colour changers, as I'd had them as a kid, but their paintwork was blotchy and faded. This Firebird, however, just looked a bit untidy, not much giving away the fact it was pale blue under all that purple. Pontiac launched the second gen Firebird in 1970, and this remained in production through to 1981. By which time the car was both mechanically and visually very different. The third generation, on which this car is based, launched in 1982 on the back of 2 fuel crises. Weight and fuel consumption were considerations in its design, and it almost became a front-wheel drive car along with its Camaro cousin. The changes resulted in improved acceleration, aerodynamics, braking and handling. The early Gen 3 was easily distinguished from the Camaro due to its pop-up headlights. The SE in the model's name stood for Special Edition, an improvement on the base edition but a step down from the Trans Am. The 82 to 85 SE vehicles came equipped with either Pontiac's 2.5 litre inline 4, 2.8 litre V6 or 5 litre V8 engines. In 1992, the third gen was replaced by the fourth gen, which took the aerodynamic styling even further, featuring a very sleek body design. The Firebird was discontinued in 2002, bringing an end to 35 years of production, and the Pontiac brand was phased out entirely in 2010. So the base now receives a coat of Tamiya TS21 Gold, which acts as the lower portion of the car, the bumpers and side skirts. I'm hoping that this will look effective and look similar to the classic Firebird image I've got in my head. It's kind of difficult as a Brit, as my knowledge of American cars is based almost entirely on movies and TV shows. Now I'll spend a bit of time trying to polish up the damaged windshield. Speaking of movies, in pop culture, the second gen featured in Smokey and the Bandit, Hooper and Rocky 2. It was also the pace car for the 1980 Indy 500. Actor Burt Reynolds, who starred in both Smokey films and Hooper, was a famous collector of Trans Ams. 3 were sold in 2018, shortly before his death. Here, the interior gets a coat of Tamiya TS68 wooden deck tan. Also in pop culture, the 3rd generation Firebird is probably best known for yes, Knight Rider of course. Spraying Tamiya TS14 black onto this example quickly transforms it into kit. Although not a Trans Am, this casting would make a great basis for a kit replica. Needless to say, after a single coat I'm very pleased with the application, with my concerns of quality beginning to wash away. Naturally, I chose to use the Firebird style wheels from the Greenlight GM wheel and tyre pack. I mean, what else would I have used when this was an option? Now I'm going to restore these wheels to roughly how the originals appeared. Lastly, the interior and body detailing takes place. I paint the dashboard and centre console in black, with the raised prop shaft housing coated as well. Then I use my trusty Citadel gloss Nuln Oil on the seats to add depth to them and give them an aged leather vibe. Now I use my Molotow chrome pen as an undercoat for the side reflectors. With all 4 done, I now do the same for the rear light cluster. Once it has all been filled in, I use my red and orange Sharpies to add some colour. And now I can begin reassembling the Firebird. The first piece to be fitted is the cleaned and polished window unit. Over that goes my tan interior. And then the base seals it all in. I clip the 2 small rear rivets on first, before securing the front with a screw. So here is how we started this custom job with the unexpectedly colour changing Firebird SE. It was chipped on all sides, the windscreen was cloudy, and the wheels had their silver trim worn off. It had plenty of potential for a custom, with the opportunity for new paint, wheels and detailing. So here is how this flailing Firebird now looks. The gold base acting as the lower body trim really works well alongside these GM Greenlight wheels. The black, that I was originally so sceptical about, has turned out really rather well. On the back here you'll see I also detailed the logo in the middle of the light cluster, though the cluster itself isn't all that clear under the bright white lights, especially if you compare it to when I was filling it in earlier. The same could be said for the side reflectors. Anyway, let both me and Nick know how we did in the comments below. I can't wait to see what he's created. As usual, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again for the next one. Bye for now.